I had an amazing day of landscape photography with trying out my new 200-600mm lens first time. Yeah, there are a couple of things to be considered if you want to shoot landscapes with such a long focal length, and I will tell you more about that later. I also want to talk with you about the final image of that day. Yeah, the conditions were outstanding, but the rainbow which appeared just for a few seconds. And I will also tell you later a bit more about how I managed anyway to get out this photograph within this short time. Hi my friends, very nice to see you and welcome to one more landscape photography adventures here on my channel. Today is a really special day of landscape photography because yeah, on the one hand I'm at a place where I've never been before. I'm far away from my mountains. I'm in lower Austria, and so we just have a little bit of hills back there and so on. Or yeah, we have mountains a little bit more back there. And yeah, it's really windy, and as these hills are all these peaks over there are really far away, I've got my 200-600mm super long lens with me, and what I'm trying to do now is I try to pick out some details in this fantastic landscape. I'm hoping for some light spot. We have just some mid-layer clouds up there, just a thin layer, and I hope to get some spots there and where. So I'm sure I wanted to walk around a little bit. I'm able to walk, what's really fantastic, at least a tiny bit, so my knee got better a little bit. So, however, I think as it's really windy, what I try to do is I will stay here and I will try to find some compositions back there, and fingers crossed that we will find something. So, let's try for that.
When you came over, my heart was on its way out. I wasn't sober and I was thinking out loud. I spoke of your bravery, your wit and audacity.
So I found already composition, and yeah, I'm just waiting for the light now, but to be honest, I'm not sure how I should show you the composition because I think the closest point is round about 6 kilometers from here. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing with this long beast up here. We get so far there and we don't have all too much haze there. We have a little bit haze, but more back there. So yeah, it's really fantastic. I think I will take the shot and I will explain it afterwards, maybe in the office or something like that. Yeah, it's really fantastic. I have this flow back there into the distance. I have this rhythm of all these peaks back there. I have some trees in the foreground, and all the colors give us fantastic depth there. That's really fantastic. And I also like the clouds up there. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I mean the clouds were maybe possible to see, and it's really fantastic. You can get your long lens. You can pick out any details, and I think just there are maybe, not sure, 20 compositions, something like that. I'm not sure. I just found this one now here. And you know, it's always the question of how good should this composition be. And this one is really a strong one, to be honest. And I have to say the light is fantastically a little bit soft back there, not all too much, just a tiny bit. And I would say, let's make the click. Yeah, I found one more composition, and yeah, it's a really fantastic place here with all these hills back there. And there are so many compositions possible back there. And I found a kind of castle or abbey or something like this. Yeah, it's not possible to see with the ultra wide angle lens here. It's on this hill back there. We have some trees in the front, and yeah, it's really nice, accentuated in this brighter part here in the middle, and also the clouds are just amazing. So the light, yeah, it's at the worst, I have to say. It's always a little bit of soft, but it could be better. So I'm not sure. I mean, I'm here with my camera position, and I thought about walking around a little bit, but I think it's not really necessary. So I think fine unified composition is more something like, yeah, hiking up 50 meters up there or down or something like this. But it's already possible from one and the same position to get out more compositions, and they're really fantastic. And it can even add when you have really amazing conditions. So what I've done is, because yeah, I'm really long with my focal length. I'm at around about 600 millimeters, a little bit shorter, I think maybe 580 millimeters, something like that. And yeah, everything, it's not 100% sturdy. You really have to be careful. I bought a new ball head, by the way. First I always used the T5S Mark II from Rollei. Now I have the T7S Mark II, so it's a little bit more sturdy. The 5 has I think 30 kilograms and this holds 40 kilograms. And as it's really windy, yeah, I also use my van here for blocking the wind a little bit. As it's really windy, we really need this here. And I also use silent shutter. It makes a tiny difference. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, and I have to say, this lens is amazingly sharp, really. I didn't expect this. It's a G lens from Sony, not the G Master lens. But when I compare it with my G Master lenses, there's not really difference. I think from wide open up to f13, it's pin sharp also on the corners. It's amazing. From f14, it starts to get refractions, and over that, it's not really usable. I think that's maybe the only reason why it's not a G Master lens. But I have to say, from the 600 meter, from the long end of the lens, it is quite sharper. It is even sharper. So I can even go up to f18 on 600 millimeters. So amazing. And the lens goes up to f35, f36. So it's not sure why it goes up that much, because yeah, it's really diffraction up there, but however.
So move close to me, love me differently.
Ah, such a fantastic place here. And I found this group of trees down there. Oh, it's really difficult with the ultra wide angle lens. There are 4 trees down there, and I tried it from a little bit more down there, and they overlapped a little bit. And the only way to get rid of that is to walk up a little bit, or to change the perspective slightly. So slightly means in this case that I've walked up about 50 meters, something like that, so that they don't touch anymore. And we don't have the best light now, or we don't have direct light now. It looks really flat, but when we look there, and I will show you afterwards the photograph, there's contrast, because we have different colors, and we have also a really fantastic tonality. And this is a way how you also can get photographs without the best looking light, without the best conditions, or without the best moody conditions or something like that. And yeah, I have to say, it's a quite simple photograph, but I'm really happy with it. And I photographed it on, I think, around about 600 millimeters again. It's amazing. What a lens. And this place is a really special place, by the way. So when we have a look back there, this tower there, it was built by, oh, it wasn't really built, but it's the place where Emperor Empress Sissi, the wife from Emperor Franz Josef, was really often here, and she liked this place, and this is the reason why they built the tower up there for her, and she had a look wherever she wanted to look. It's so beautiful there. So it's the Empress Sissi place, something like that, I'm not sure 100%. Oh yeah, what a fantastic day of landscape photography, and I'm not sure, 300 meters from my van, something like that. Amazing. So I'm not sure, I think I will look for one more composition, and then I will go back to the mine, and I will not stay overnight here. I will stay overnight anywhere else behind any hill back there. I'm not sure about that. And maybe, fingers crossed, there will also be the possibility for a photograph. I'm not sure about that. But we will see.
You lay beside me, you held my hand in the dark. I started fighting, 'cause I was scared of it all. And isn't it glorious how love gets the best of us? Yeah, I got feelings, but I'm a tough one sometimes. Please move close to me. You love differently, so move close to me. Love me differently, differently.
So I drove somewhere else, and it's really beautiful here. This is the place where I want to stay overnight, and yeah, we have an amazing vista here. When we look down there, all the mountains back there, and we see that there comes a little bit of rain in there, and it looks really amazing. I think I will grab my camera here. I will try for a shot. So let's do this now.
You lay beside me, you held my hand in the dark. I started fighting, 'cause I was scared of it all.
No, I was not fast enough. This is not good. So it's already raining here. The rain came in really quickly, and I think if I had been 15 seconds faster or something like this, or yeah, maybe a minute or so, to build up, to find the composition, it would look better. So when we look there, we see everything is soft, so it doesn't really look fantastic. I found my 70-200mm lens, and yeah, I mean, the composition hadn't been all too bad, to be honest. It had been really a fantastic thing, but I had to tweak about it. I had to fine-tune it, and I took a test shot. The foreground had a fantastic contrast, and the layers back there were flooded with the rain, and everything got soft back there. It looked fantastic, but yeah, I'm not really happy with the composition. Anyway, I will show you the image, and I think I will go into my van now and think about my options, maybe for tomorrow morning sunrise. I'm not sure, it depends totally on the weather. I mean, it was so fantastic. We have all these hills there, so when the sun comes, I think this is south, this is north, so this is west, and this is east, so the sun should come from the left, and we should have this mountain back there illuminated from the left, what could look really pretty good. So it was an amazing day out there. Unfortunately, the conditions were not all too fantastic in the next morning, but in the evening, as the clouds started to resolve in the west, there suddenly appeared a rainbow, and all the hills started to glow. I just grabbed my camera, jumped out of the van, and I shoot this panel freehand, because yeah, there was not enough time to build up my tripod, and this is also the reason why I don't have B-rolls shooting me the rainbow, and also the fact I was already in my pajamas. But however, shooting a panel is a really good idea when you don't have enough time to think about the composition. In a situation like that, it is just all about collecting the data, and later at home we can crop in and fine tune however we want. And I got out even a second crop from this panel. So this is this one here, and I have to say, it is even from the compositional side, it is even, it has even more impact, and it looks after a strong composition. Although the other one, when we have a look at it again, I really like the mood of light it conveys, how the light interacts here with all the hills and so on, with the landscape. I'm really pleased with these two photographs. It's the same panel, I just cropped in 2 times in a different way. But by the way, this shot here, this panel, was not taken with my 200-600mm lens, but anyway, I had to take it. I hope you understand. So where should I put it? It's a little bit too difficult here. Let's put it here. However, I got out one more photographs with my 200-600mm lens. I didn't show it in the video because, to be honest, I found too many compositions and I thought I can't explain you all the compositions in the field due to the far distances. So I thought I'd just show you the print here. So this is the print, and yeah, it was also taken from the longer side, I think around about 550mm. And although I have to say, the Sony 200-600mm lens is really stunning sharp. I will link the lens down in the description for you so that you can check it out by yourself. I mentioned already on which apertures it is just outstanding, and if you're not sure about how you can find out on which apertures you can use your lenses and how you can even get out even a higher image quality with your own gear, I will link your video up there. But I have to say, on further distances, it could be that you will anyway get out a blurry photograph with a really sharp lens. But this is not all about the lens, it is more because, there are a couple of things to be considered when you shoot with an extreme long focal length, up to 600mm or even longer. So on the one hand, it is easy to get shakes in your camera. At 600mm we have an angle of view of just 4.1 degree, so that's not much for a diagonal, right? Guess what happens when you get wind moving the lens just for a quarter of a degree? It would get totally blurry. So wind is a big problem. So a good idea is to hide anywhere, maybe beside a van or a car, maybe a hut or something like that. And of course we have to use a tripod and a remote release. I mentioned silent shutter already, and due to the strong wind, I even used image stabilization, although I used a tripod. And what I did is I always waited for a gap where the wind stopped for a second, and then I took the shot, what worked quite well for me. And the second really big problem is haze. Usually when we take a photograph, haze is a good thing because it helps us to bring depth in our photograph, as all the layers have different contrasts. The further away a layer, the more haze, the softer it looks. I made already a video about the different ways of how to get depth into your photographs. I will link it up there for you. But when the closest point of your composition is something like 6 kilometers away, it will not work when there is too much haze in there. So what I did is, I've gone there on a day with scattered rain, so that the rain washed out the air a bit, and it reduced the haze finally. Scattered is important, scattered rain, because this means that there are still parts where the air is not totally washed, and so you can use haze in the very distance to emphasize depth. Again, depth is really important so that your image doesn't look flat. Atmospheric conditions are definitely our friend when it comes down to shoot with super long lenses. My friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, give me a thumb up and don't forget about your friends. Give them also the chance to learn more about landscape photography with extreme long focal lengths. Oh, and next week I plan to do a longer road trip with my van, a little bit higher up in the mountains. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Yeah, it depends a little bit on the weather, but however, I will really happy if you would tune in again. I thank you so much for watching. See you next Saturday. Bye.